Hey everybody, welcome to Color Conversations with Crawford Street. I'm Tanner and I am glad to be here today with you guys whenever you're watching. Hi, thanks for being here. Today is an awesome color. We're in our spring collection of colors right now, things that are inspired by this season. Today is a color that's maybe another unexpected color for spring, but it represents all those unexpected things that also grow during spring. So, you got flowers and you got greenery and you've got these colors that pop in, but you've also got these just really kind of organic, natural things that also pop up. So today's color is about the unexpected and the basic just being exactly what you need, just being the right neutral, because especially when you're thinking of color, a lot of times you're thinking of something that holds blue or something that actually is brown or something that's yellow. And when we do that, we tend to put color in a box, and you're like, well, I don't want purple, I don't want red. And so because you can't put what you want into this general color family, it kind of becomes overwhelming because you can't pinpoint what it is that you're going for. And that happens a lot in medium tones, in neutral tones, in basic colors. And the funny thing is, even though that seems like it would be the boring, I guess, color out of all of the tones in your home or your space or whatever, sometimes that boring, that basic, that most neutral, the most not look at me color, the most wallflower color is actually the most important. And so today is just about how a great basic medium neutral can completely elevate the space. It can tie things together and it can represent, like I said, an unexpected, oh, it's not white, but it's not deep, but it's definitely something, this is just a great way to infuse something beautiful without having to fully commit to any color in particular. You know what I mean? So today's shade that we're talking about is Sherwin-Williams 9587 Mushroom. It's a beautiful, like I said, it is so neutral. Its LRV is 57. So you're literally right there in the medium zone, which is perfect, like I said. So if you're using this for something because you need to calm down something but liven up something, or you need to kind of mute something or tie into something that's already existing, but you don't want this to draw the attention away, or you don't want this to completely add in a new color, to the palette. This is great for when you just need a neutral to be beautiful. Now, I will say this is a designer collection color, so that does have pros and cons. The pros would be that every color that is in Sherwin-Williams designer collection is beautiful. It is meant to feel luxurious. It's meant to feel elegant. It's meant to have a certain class, about it, a certain aura that just says, I'm upscale. The thing is, you have to get it in its base. So the reason that all of these designer collection colors look great is because they come in a designer collection base, and that base is a good paint. And so it makes sure that your color comes across just as luxurious as you're expecting it to be on your piece, on your home, in the urethane, that if you're doing it in cabinetry. It is just, these colors are very, very elegant and nice and high end, and they're more pricey, as is everything usually that's more high end, but you get what you pay for. So this is a color, like I said, if you have something in your project and it's already existent and you want to tie into that, like whether it's a color or a stone or whatever, and you don't want another color to overtake anything, but it needs to elevate the stone, or it needs to, like I said, calm something that's maybe really whimsical or really bold piece of artwork down. Like this color will do that. It is beigey, and so it's got great warmth of, that's in there. It's holding some good warmth, and it bounces around some good warmth, but it's also very muted. So, it feels, especially when it's not in direct light, it feels like a nice white that's a little grayed out. Like it's so interesting that even though it's a medium tone, because it is so neutral and because it doesn't really hold any color in particular, like I said, it's just it's like a just grayed out, very neutral beige. But like I said, it's so elegant that it doesn't feel gray at all. So when I'm saying the word gray, I don't want you guys to like think of industrial gray or even stone gray. I just want you to think of it's been muted, because you can see in the natural light the warmth that comes out. You know what I mean? And in comparison to that white, you see it holds color, but it's like you can't specify what that color actually is. It's just nice and neutral. Like I said, it's got the warmth of like a tan somewhere undertone, but it's so muted that it's going to just allow itself to really fit in with a lot of stuff, especially stone. So places we've used this where it's been really, really, really beautiful are cabinets. So we had someone who was redoing their kitchen, and they knew that they wanted the cabinets to appear light and brighter because they were coming from wood cabinets, right? And so they were like, we know we want them to overall like feel light, but we don't want white. Like we don't want white at all because we want our countertops to kind of feel white. And so we want this to have definite contrast from those white countertops. And then also, same thing, they were like, we have grays. We kind of already had renovated parts of the house, and there were some gray tones in the areas, but their floors were very, very warm. So this we ended up doing as their cabinet color. It was beautiful, tied everything together, right? It tied in the grays, it tied in even the honeyish, look of their floors. It tied in the new white countertops, and any bit of little veining that white had. It pulled the gray, it pulled the little bits of gold, it pulled. And so again, it just tied everything together in a very elegant way. Another time that we used this was in a whole house's interior on the walls. And it is when you find a color that feels nice on walls and furniture and can mute a space, like I said, can really kind of tone down things that are too bold or too saturated or too orange or whatever. It can really tone things down, but it doesn't feel flat. That is a great color. And that's why we love mushroom, because it does that. The other house that we did it in, they had existing stone like around the fireplace. And then on the back little area, like right off the kitchen, there was this big sunroom area, and it had this like travertine, this old travertine stone. So we knew we had to get something that felt naturally warm, just felt like, even if it was made from sand or, a really organic product of, limestone, just whatever, it would still have been in the sun for a little bit, like it still had natural warmth, but it toned all of what felt dated about the house, it toned it all down. And again, so for something to be able to tone a lot down but not feel flat is a very great component just to have in a space. Again, especially if you're here because of those reasons, like I have something I need to calm down. I have something I need to like distract from. I have two things that don't feel like they belong, and I need to pull them together without distracting, without creating more visual interest. This is a great like I said, can be a background player, but it is so elegant and it is so just upscale because of the right mix of warm and cool and the right, just perfect, right in that medium zone to where you're going to get plenty of contrast away from dark and you're going to get plenty of contrast away from bright white, you know. It's just a great, it's like a mushroom, you know, like it fits right in. It looks completely natural. But it's light, you know what I mean? It's a little bit brown, a little bit gray. And that's, I think, why we love it so much. And I think that's why it's so versatile and it's so adaptable to its spaces and why it pulls and ties in so many seemingly unconnected things. And it's just nice. Like, say you're building a house and you're like, I don't have any parameters here. Like, I'm just looking for a great medium color. This is still great. You don't have to have anything that needs to be tied together. Like, if you have stone or brick on your exterior, again, a lot of times you have warm and cool, you have gray and gold, and you have, or red and then gray mortar, you know, red brick and gray mortar. So this is just a great player with natural elements when you don't want another color coming into your palette and you're not looking for color, you're just looking for a medium tone that will bring a lot together, that will feel elegant on its own, but will be a great player for whatever style decor you want to bring in, whatever building components you want to put with it. It's just a really lovely, lovely high-end color. So if you feel like this is your color, then that's awesome. Yay, woohoo! Congratulations, it's mushroom. Then, you know, again, like just remember, the more natural light you have on it, the more you're going to see that warmth, the more you're going to see the beige part of it. And then when you don't have, you know, direct natural light on it, it is going to feel more like you have that muted, you know, cast over it. But if this is, you know, where you feel like you're at, but you're like, Tanner, the fact that it may be more expensive kind of makes me nervous, or maybe it's a little too gray for you. Sorry about the loud car. Or maybe it's a little too not gray enough for you. We'd love to help you adjust. Like, you can leave a comment here. You can email us. Our email's in the description. And if you just want to hang out and keep hearing about more colors until you decide, you're welcome to do that too. Just subscribe and we'll see you guys next time. Okay? Have a great day. Bye.